Hello everyone, I'm going to go over my build that I made. It's a league starter for Carrion Golem builds. You can find the path of building in the description like always, and I have another video showcasing the build's capabilities, so I'll have that in the description below as well, so if you want to take a look at it. I'm going to go over everything in the build on path of building right now, and without further ado, I am going to begin. So, your first step is going to be heart and soul. Next is going to be practical applications. Next, you're going to get sacrifice, and you're going to work all the way down and pick up sanctity. After that, you're going to go up and pick up purity of flesh. Next is sovereignty. After that, it's redemption. Next, you're going to get faith and steel. After that, you're going to get devotion. I'm going to bring up endurance really quick. It should be in the line. It should be next. It should be next after redemption, but you want to make sure that you get something before you get endurance on the talent tree, and you're going to want to get a small cluster with enduring composure on it. And enduring composure, you gain 1 endurance charge every second if you've been hit recently. So don't get endurance until you actually get the small cluster with enduring composure on it. So I believe I ended on devotion. After devotion, you are going to get sanctum of thought, and after that, you are going to get combat stamina. After that, you are going to go up and get cruel preparation, and the mastery is definitely up to you. Then you are going to pick up Golem Commander. After Golem Commander, you are going to pick up influence. And here's a little tip. You know, you might not be able to get an anointment very quickly, so after influence, you might want to pick up Whispers of Doom and wait till you get the anointment to actually go and pick up Ghost Dance. So, after influence, you're going to pick up Steeped in the Profane. After Steeped in the Profane, you're going to pick up Indomitable Army. The mastery is up to you. So that was the talent tree in a nutshell. I'm going to go over the key nodes now. And a lot of them are based on keeping you alive with mind over matter. And I'm going to explain all of them. And what mind over matter does is it gives you 40% of damage is taken from mana before life. You're going to be getting Eldritch Battery from an item, so I don't actually have it on the tree. So if you want to use Eldritch Battery before you actually get the helmet, the Devouring Diadem, you can, and that would probably be a really good idea. So you want to use those both in conjunction together, and it's going to make the survivability of your character a lot better. So Mind Over Matter and Eldritch Battery go together, and then you're going to want to get Divine Shield. And Divine Shield gives you 3% of physical damage prevented from hits as recently regenerated as energy shield per second. And you want to make sure you're using determination with this ability, with this keystone, or you're not going to be able to regenerate energy shield at all. Then you're going to want to make sure you get Ghost Dance. And when you use Ghost Dance, you want to make sure that you are using Grace, because Grace gives you evasion. And what it says is, cannot recover energy shield 2 or above evasion rating. Then it goes on to say this: every 2 seconds, gain a ghost shard up to a maximum of 3. When hit, lose a ghost shard to recover energy shield equal to 3% of your evasion rating. And so, if you don't have Grace giving you evasion rating, you won't gain energy shield. So, using all 4 of these together, Mind Over Matter, Eldritch Battery, Divine Shield, and Ghost Dance, makes your character very, very tanky, very hard to kill. And that goes over the keystones that I have on the build. I hope that I explained them well enough for you to understand. And you could get these whenever you want. I can't tell you when you want to get them, because I don't know what type of gear you're going to have. You could get, if you're going to get them, I would definitely say to get them in this order. I would say Mind Over Matter, Eldritch Battery, Divine Shield, and then Ghost Dance. Alright, I'm going to go over the small clusters. I already went over one of the small clusters briefly, and it's very cheap. It's a small cluster with Enduring Composure, and what it does is you gain 1 endurance charge every second you've been hit recently. It's a very strong small cluster. I would say that it might be one of the best in the game. So, and then I have another small cluster with the front line. And with the front line, you gain a huge buff when you use a guard ability. And the guard ability in this build is going to be Molten Shell, because I believe Molten Shell to be the best guard gem in the game. And what it does is it gives you 10% to all elemental resistance and max elemental resistance while affected by a non-val guard skill. So that's a guard. We're going to be using Molten Shell. And then it says 20% additional physical damage reduction while affected by a non-val guard skill. So that's where the Molten Shell comes in. But it also causes you not to. So when it's not up, when your Molten Shell isn't up, you're going to be taking 20% more damage taken if it was recently lost. So there is a side effect of it, like a negative effect of it, but I believe that the benefits far outweigh the negatives. And I'm going to go over the Firesong really quick. And Firesong, what it does is modifiers ignite duration you apply to all elemental ailments. So what you want to do with this is you want to make ignite duration -100 to make your character completely immune to elemental ailments. I don't have it in this build, but I do have -60 from a small god, or a minor god I should say. The Soul of Abaroth is going to give you -60 to ignite duration, and you can get negative ignite duration from boots and rings as a bench craft. Very easy to get. So if you want to get 100, you can, but I believe that -60 ignite duration is perfect. But later on in the game, you probably want to get it maxed out, but -60 is going to help a lot. They'll make you level, and I think it's good for League start. Then you have the Primordial Jewels. And I'm using Primordial Harmony, and really the only stat that I really care about on the Primordial Harmony, I'm using 2 of them, I believe, is that the summon golems regenerate 2% of their life per second. It gives you a little bit of damage and everything, but it's not significant. You need 3 Primordial Jewels and a Anima Stone. I'm gonna look for the Anima Stone. Here it is. And what the Anima Stone does when you equip it, you get +1 to maximum number of summon golems, which is really cool. And then it says +1 to maximum number of summon golems if you have 3 primordial items socketed or equipped. So you're going to have 3 Primordial Jewels. And it could be Primordial Essence, Primordial Might, or Primordial Harmony. And I believe that I'm using 2 Primordial Harmonies and a Might. And the Might is really not that great, to be honest with you. But it makes your minions aggressive. But I don't use it. A lot of people might say that it's very important, but you gain no benefit from using Primordial Might, so I would just not get it. So I'm gonna go over the Ascendancies now, and the Ascendancies that you would take in this order, or I would take in this order. I would get Commander of Darkness, Mistress of Sacrifice. Make sure to use Bone Offering when you get Mistress of Sacrifice, because it's a huge bump to survivability. Then I would get Mindless Aggression. It's just a normal buff for your minions, damage and everything. And then I get Bone Barrier for more survivability for my character and my minions. And it helps with physical damage reduction and everything else. So that goes over the talent tree. I'm going to go over the skills now. And there is really no expensive gems in this build. I made sure to make the summon Carrion Golem gem level 21 and quality 20 because I believe it's very important to have the max gem for your main damage source. So, and then you got deadly ailments, minion damage, void manipulation, unbound ailments, and this is wrong. I apologize, that was wrong. I will change it in my other PoB that I had. I did not realize it. I apologize. Then I have temporal chains on one of my rings. And on the ring, it when you use a profane proxy ring, your skitterbots make it a aura. So wherever the skitterbots go, it is going to be cursing creatures and bosses. And I also have another profane proxy ring attached to it in Feeble. So Enfeeble and Temporal Chains are going to be going all the time with the skitterbot. Alright, now the Summon Raging Spirits, I made this level 21 and quality 20 as well. And it's very important to have a level 21 gem for your damage sources, in my opinion. Then you have Unleash, Withering Touch, and Clawing Strike. Then a weapon, one weapon. Both weapons are going to have the same gems on them. So this is a weapon swap build. So you're going to have Molten Shell, Generosity, and Divine Blessing on both weapons. This is the defensive weapon swap shields layout. You're going to have Flame Dash, Bone Offering, and Empowered 2. And on the other shield, the DPS shield, you're going to want to switch out Bone Offering for Flesh Offering for more damage. The helmet is my aura helmet. So you want to make sure you use your auras on the Devouring Diadem because it gives you a huge increase to mana reservations. So you might not be able to get all these until you actually get it. So you got Grace, Vitality, Determination, and Summon Skitterbots. I went over the Summon Skitterbots, Determination, and Grace. And Vitality gives you more health regeneration or life regeneration. And the Boots is just buffing Despair. And the Despair on this build is a aura it's a aura that doesn't have any reservation because of the amulet. This one, the Impressant. And what this does is it makes your Despair have no reservation. So you're trying to buff Despair as much as possible because you don't get as much effect when you use Blasphemy, making an aura, a curse aura, an aura. So you want to try and buff it as much as you can, and that's where I put in Arrogance. Then you have Desecrate to use Bone Offering and Flesh Offering with the build. And then Envy is being used on a weapon. And when you put where is it? When you put Divine Blessing on the United Cutlass, it allows you to use Envy as a timed aura and makes it really, really cool because an Envy is a level 25 and it costs a lot of mana reservation to use. So being able to use it as a clickable or timeable aura is really cool. I'm gonna go over the items very quickly, and you got the United Enduring Cutlass, which was nerfed, but it'll still be really, really good. So, and then I have the Darusso's Courage, which is for defensive purposes, and then I have the Atari's Reflection, which is used for more damage, and it has really, really good stats as well. And then I have the Devouring Diadem. I went over that really quickly. Then I have the Covenant, which is very, very good for DPS and damage for your main source of damage. Then I have the Breath Stealer, and on the Breath Stealer I have Grave Pack. And what I believe Brave Pack is 2 blacks and 1 Azor oil, and you could put an ointment on it. It has really good stats, and really the only reason I put it on here is for the an ointment. The windscreen boots are where you're going to get your 3rd curse. So you're going to get Whispers of Doom and a curse, and then you're going to use a windscreen greaves as a curse, and then you get 1 for being a player. I went over the amulet. I went over the profane proxy rings. The Darkness Enthroned now can be 75 to 100. Actually, could be 50% increased effective socket of Biz Jewels to 100. So the stats that you want to make sure you are focusing on are minions deal increased damage if you use a minion skill recently, and make sure that you get minions at 15% chance of poison enemies on hit, because that's going to be really, really important. It's really good for your damage. And then the other 2 stat lines on the Ghastly Eye Jewels are, if you want to make your build do more damage, you're going to want to put minions deal physical or chaos. You could use whatever you want for the last 2 stat lines. And really, another good stat lines are minions can blind and minions can taunt. So that goes over the Ghastly Eye Jewels. And then flasks, I have a Quicksilver Flask for run speed, a Basalt Flask for more armor, a Granite Flask for more armor, Taste of Hate for more survivability, and it helps your physical max hit and everything, really good. And then a Blood for healing. The configurations, you're going to have endurance charges from Enduring Composure, and you're going to have another one from the endurance node on the talent tree. Number of summon minions. This is used for the for Bone Barrier, and 10 is the max that you need to get the full effect of the effect from Bone Barrier. Have you blocked recently? Have you blocked a spell recently? Have you used a minion skill? And Corpus Consumed are all going to be happening all the time. Number of non-minions by your Carrion Golems is going to be 10, because you're going to be spitting out Raising Summoning Spirits all the time. Withering Stacks 15 is coming from the Raging Summoning Spirits, and the enemy is poisoned from the United Cutlass and the Ghastly Eye Jewels. And this is set to Guardian Pinnacle. As always, please be safe and please be careful. Thank you for watching, and if you like what I'm doing and you want more of it, please subscribe.